It's one of the only places in the world where seeing rare marine life is guaranteed. But Doc's worried rule breakers will put marine reserves off Banks Peninsula at risk. Over the last 2 summers, 13 people have been convicted of illegally taking marine life in Akaroa Marine Reserve near Pōhatu Marine Reserve and nearby Pōhatu Marine Reserve. And Doc, we were hoping this summer they would see no infringements or convictions after an effort to increase awareness through better signage and education. But as our video journalist Logan Church saw firsthand on a dock patrol, it seems the message isn't really getting through to all.
It's 7:45 in the morning. It's the Duvershell boat ramp in Akaroa Harbour. I'm here with dock ranger Tom McTavish, who is about to take Doc's bright yellow twin-engine boat out for the first patrol of the season.
Today we're out on Akaroa Harbour and we're doing a patrol to check that no one's fishing in the marine reserves, but also to ensure that people know about some of the other rules and regulations around the coast of Banks Peninsula.
Getting messaging out around those rules has been tough going, and they are important, as this is one of, if not the only place in the world where you are almost guaranteed to see wildlife like dolphins and penguins. And the punishment for breaking these rules can be steep. Illegal fishing in a marine reserve could net a non-commercial fisher a 3-month prison sentence and / a fine of up to $10,000. But there are other rules too about disturbing wildlife, as well as the quantity of fish you can take in certain areas. And this year, for the first time, DOC as well as other agencies have put all of that on a massive sign at the boat ramps, as DOC's Tim Hennessy explains back at shore.
Still a huge amount of information, but it's all in one place. It's not scattered all over the place. It's new, it's legible. You can come up to this sign, you can take a photograph, you've got all the information you need before you go out on the harbour.
Heading out into Akaroa Marine Reserve, it seems everyone is following the rules.
G'day, how's it going?
And everyone seems to know Tom. This is his patch and he knows it well.
The rules are that, you shouldn't have any more than 3 vessels interacting with any given pod of dolphins. So just being mindful of that too is good. But hey, it's great that you're out here enjoying them.
No, thank you for the information.
No worries.
Leaving the harbour, we take a left and make our way along the rocky coastline to Pōhatu Marine Reserve. Its start is marked by a big yellow triangle on top of the cliff. It is the home of a large penguin colony, as well as plenty of seals. But Tom says a recent survey highlighted a scary lack of awareness of the existence of the 2 reserves.
One of the things that we found is although about 96% of people were aware that there was a marine reserve, only 46% of people were actually able to tell us that there was 2 and identify where they were. So one of the issues we've had is that people think, oh, there's one marine reserve, Akaroa Marine Reserve, which is at the head of Akaroa Harbour. They go, right, we're going to go out of the harbour and we're going to turn left and we're going to go a wee way along and we're going to start fishing. And sometimes they end up finding that they're in Pōhatu Marine Reserve, which is obviously a problem for us and a problem for them as well.
Tom's hoping all of the messaging and education will yield dividends this year. His goal is no infringements or prosecutions. But as we motor out of the bay, we see a suspicious pair of green floats just inside the reserve.
I'm just taking some notes in my notebook. I'm not quite sure yet what this pot is, or should I say what these floats are, whether they're a crayfish pot inside the marine reserve or not.
We approach the floats and Tim gets out the mechanical winch.
If you pull down a wee bit more, Tim, you'll find it easier. Yeah, that's it.
And up comes a crayfish pot. A large eel about 1 metre long and 3 crayfish are trapped inside.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll release the fish. Just tip it, Tim. Hang on, just hold it there. Yep, now tip it. Okay. Yep, that's it. Gone. This is 3 New Zealand rock lobster crayfish, and we've just taken them out of a pot which was just inside Pōhatu Marine Reserve. So yeah, we're just taking some details on the pot. We're going to take the pot and now we're going to release the fish back alive.
As the swells get bigger, we head back close to the rock and drop the crayfish back into the ocean, keeping the pot on board. Doc will be keeping it for the time being. But as we motor away, we see another boat trailing us and circling around where we picked the pot up. Tom turns the boat around and speaks to those on board.
Set right next to the rock, was it? There's actually there's a marine reserve that runs out. You can see that yellow triangle out there. Yeah, so that's actually the boundary of a marine reserve, and we just pulled the pot inside the reserve.
We aren't going to identify the boat or any of its occupants, as there is now a process Doc has to go through. As a warranted dock officer, Tom takes down the details of those on board, and Tim photographs evidence. This goes back to head office, where a decision is made as to what to do next. We eventually leave the group and motor back to harbour.
We'll be going through a process with the information we've gathered now to try and ascertain whether there was an offence committed. It's not something we enjoy, compliance work, and I guess it just underscores for us the importance of the preventative work that we do.
Akaroa Harbour itself is stunning. As we float along, dolphins are jumping around, penguins lazily swimming by, and all Tom wants is for people to enjoy it, and the wildlife to stay safe and happy. Doc is launching a nationwide campaign this summer called Love This Place, which aims to educate people about how to behave in the outdoors. But for this Doc team, it's time to take the boat out of the water, head back to base, and get ready for what is expected to be a very busy summer. In Akaroa Harbour for Checkpoint, Logan Church.